A very good evening to our viewers. Thank you for joining us tonight on the Evening Review. My name is Toivo Njabela. Tonight on the platform, we are welcoming back the President of the National Democratic Party and newly elected member of the National Assembly, Lukato Martin Lukato, to share with us how he feels about making it to Parliament after so many attempts, and also what his plans are as far as the journey is concerned. Thank you, Lukato, for making time. First and foremost, congratulations. What happened? You tried so many times and suddenly you got a seat.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Namibians as a whole. So very much appreciate.
Absolutely.
Yes.
What was different this time? To what do you attribute the fact that after so many attempts, this time around, your party got a seat?
I believe in a long way journey.
Yeah.
Because a short way journey cannot be achieved.
Yeah.
So the struggle, even the struggle of Namibia, it was too long. So the NDP struggle, it was too long, and because of my determination, my sacrifice, with the guidance and the protections of the Lord, I knew that I'll make it.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Do you think that that will then open floodgates, if you like, for further accumulation of seats going forward?
Yeah, definitely. This achievement, this is a progress, a very, very wide progress, development within the party. So the party, when it scored the one city after 20 years in struggle.
Yeah.
So many seats, definitely it will come.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Tell me, Mr. Lukato, this journey that you spoke about. I remember interviewing you many years ago, 2013. The article is still online. And it was quite a sad story that you told in that article. You spoke about, for example, how sometimes you had to get a hike from trucks that were coming from Katima to Windhoek because they are cheaper. It's cheaper to take trucks. You spoke about how you sustained NDP with your own agricultural produce, which is, you're not a commercial farmer, you're a subsistence farmer. So you are splitting your produce between your family and your party. If you can walk us through that journey.
Yeah, sure, definitely. The formation of the NDP from the 9th February 2003 is already stated the last time, to mobilize the party before the formation of the party. And I started from that great region. Then when I was done with that, I went through all 14 regions to make sure that the Namibian people, they have to get my message. Yeah. So the message which I got on the ground in the entire Namibian people, they have accepted that the only way is to form up a political party, NDP. So it was very difficult because without resources, depending on my own resources, to mobilize the party, then to register the party, then to campaigning from all 14 regions, transport expenses, accommodation expenses, whatsoever.
Food.
Definitely, yes, food. I have to make sure that I save money to get a cheaper transport. Yeah. Yes, so that's what I've been done for the past years, to make sure that my political journey, it goes forward, not backward.
Which is a good thing. Your party now, if my numbers are correct, with one seat, NDP is now going to get 1.1 million annually. That's a lot of money. It will help you a little bit to mobilize in a much better way, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And at the personal level, people, I don't know if I know that you are an avid user of social media also. A lot of people seems to have been very happy for you. And some of them, including myself, made a bit of jokes saying, Mr. Lukato is going to buy himself a nice 4x4 now with a salary of 52,000. How important will that income be? I know that you're not going to Parliament for income, but the fact of the matter is that you're going to be paid a salary that you've never gotten before because you were a police officer before. You never earned anywhere close to that. How do you intend to use your funds?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I have experience because when I was a police officer working in the government, so getting that small salary. Now I could able to feed my family, my children,
Yeah.
and also
And you have 12 of them.
yeah, definitely. Even that number,
Yeah.
I made a mistake. It's 13.
You have 13
in number,
children.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you forgot one of your children.
I did forget, but it's maybe it's a mistake. Yeah, so I managed to take my children to school
Yeah.
and also to take care of them. So with a little salary I was having, and then after that time, then I depending on my small projects of farming. Yeah, so when I get a little bit salary like that one, I don't know how to manage it.
Yeah.
Because I could handle, if I could handle my salary or to handle the family or to feed them with a little salary, then this one which is coming, definitely I will make sure that I manage it very, very proper way.
Yeah.
Yes.
No 4x4. So I was going to see Mr. Lukato cruising in a nice GD6, Toyota's GD6 or what.
Yeah, so yeah, it will depend.
Yeah.
It will depend it will be there. Yeah.
Because we can't see you driving a sedan in Queen's Village there. The trains there require a 4x4. So you must get yourself something nice to reward yourself for the years of suffering.
Yeah, definitely that one. Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, what are some of the key agendas that you intend to push in Parliament? What is it that Namibians must look forward to?
Yeah, the Namibian people, they have to look and observe and see that some of the things, it will be a change within the new parliament. Because, one of the change which I see in my programs, you will remember I was one of the participating of the second land conference. Those resolutions, most of them, up to now, they are not yet implemented. So it's my duty to make sure that those resolutions should be implemented.
Yeah.
So those laws, it will benefit all Namibians. That's a good of it. Then also, I have to make sure that the laws which were regulated before independence of this country and after the independence of this country, those affecting Namibian people. So I have to make sure that I have to draft to present motions in order to amend such laws. Others should be abolished. It's because we need all Namibian people to live in peace, and I need all Namibians to benefit from their resources. And my fight is that I need Namibian people to live in better living standard.
Yeah.
That's why Namibia is rich. So that's my journey to make sure that I implement.
Absolutely.
Yes.
There are people who are going to look at you, especially from Zambezi, and say that we have a representative from our region, and they'll be bombarding you with a lot of issues that they would ask you to raise in Parliament. I imagine, for example, that the issue of the borders, there are serious border issues there with Botswana. People in Zambezi saying that a lot of their traditional land where they've lived all their lives has been ceded to Botswana. That the border treaty, I think there was some sort of agreement that was signed by President Hage Geingob in 2018 with the Botswana government, and people are very, very unhappy, including some senior SWAPO officials saying the region is actually being robbed of its land. What is your take on that issue, and what can be done as far as your time in Parliament is concerned?
Yeah, definitely. Those are the one of the issues to be looked on. Then I believe in consultation with my fellow MPs, whether from the ruling party or from oppositions. So those issues affecting Namibian people from those regions, definitely that is a burning issue which need to be resolved.
Yeah.
And how do we resolve it? Is to make sure that if there were laws which were imposed without the agreement of all people, community from that region, definitely I believe that which affecting the communities should be reversed. Yes, and I believe that my colleagues, those in Parliament, I think also they will understand. Yeah, they will understand how affection is that. Yes, so that's how it's going. It is going to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And also, just to add there, you know, I represent the Namibian people, all ethnic groups. And I'm going to make sure that all regions of this country where there is other issues affecting our people, as usually, my focus, my advocate is that I have to represent the Namibian people.
Yeah.
Yes, as a whole.
Absolutely. So, you before you go for a small break, you are one of the parties that are not formally complaining about how the 2024 election was conducted. I know that, or we know that there's a case now, 2 cases in 2 different courts. One is challenging the presidential election, one is challenging the legitimacy of the parliamentary election. Does it give you some sleepless nights that if the opposition parties in these cases win, that it may end up taking away your seat, your solitary seat?
I don't think so, because what I have observed and discovered, NDP is at a safe place.
Yeah.
Because when I look how it was allocated, number of votes which we got, the NDP is not affected.
What do you make of the legitimacy of this? What did you make of the way the elections was conducted?
What I have seen, I think me, myself, I was one of the party leaders and the representatives who went to South Africa to observe. I have chosen not to boycott to go to South Africa, that I must stay here in Namibia. Rather, I decided that I have to go and see for myself, to go and observe the printing of ballot papers for that company. So I went there and I have observed. So while I was there, I took part in all stages, process. I took part. And after the mission, when I came back from South Africa, I held a conference, press conference, NDP conference. So one of those issues which I have raised to inform the Namibian people is the tour of South Africa, what I have observed there.
Yeah.
And all Namibian people, they have seen my statement, very clear.
Yeah.
And it's there all over.
Yeah.
So, which means that that statement which I have held after the mission in South Africa, I think it's covered.
It's covered
by NDP.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when we come back from the break, Lukato, I just want you to. I remember exactly about your trip to South Africa and what you said after coming back. As a matter of fact, the last time you were on the show, we also discussed a bit of that. But there are things that happened subsequently, things that happened during the election itself, and I would want to pick your brain on that. We go for a very short break and return with Lukato Martin Lukato. Our conversation with Mr. Lukato of NDP continues on the evening review. So like I was saying, Mr. Lukato, all major political parties pronounced themselves on the conduct of the election during that period, to the extent that even the ruling party itself, I remember there was a statement issued by the SWAPO Party Youth League at the time, saying they were not happy with the way ECN conducted that election. People are talking about, for example, the undersupply of materials to certain polling stations and to certain areas of the country. When they extended the voting beyond, when they said, for example, that some of the many decisions that took place that were announced by ECN, we are told that political parties did not participate in those discussions. The extension of voting days by President Mbumba is being challenged. Not only whether he had a right to do that, but also the fact that this extension was only applicable to certain areas, to the extent that in Kavango, for example, SWAPO had to take its buses from Kavango for the supporters to go and vote in Shakati. Smaller parties like yourself that don't have buses like SWAPO couldn't do the same. And your voters, maybe I know that you always say that you're a national party, but maybe your base is also there in Zambezi, and there was not any extension of voting in Zambezi. What is your overall take on all those series of events?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very straightforward man. We were never expecting to extend some other days. When we say that in Namibia's elections, one day vote, it ends there.
Yeah.
So the extension was unnecessary, because what we have agreed in principles during our engaging programs with ECN, with our meetings, we have only agreed that if our voters they are on the queue, and then 9 o'clock, then it passes. Those voters, they should be allowed to vote. But the extension of another day or 2 days or 3 days, no, we never agreed on it.
Yeah.
So I stood on what we have agreed.
Yeah.
Yes, and I believe that's only one day. That 3 days, it affected all Namibians. It affected all political parties,
Yeah.
especially those who don't have resources, like NDP. So, which means that I believe that I see that it was an omission, to extend 3 days.
Yeah.
Yes.
This year we still have elections. Do you think that the party's performance, let me just make it clear to the viewers that you are going to parliament almost through the back door. Your party only got 0.61% of the vote. It's not a very good number, but like I was asking earlier, perhaps when you're in parliament and people see you agitating for certain things to be done in a particular way or to be introduced, maybe people might get impressed a little bit. Do you think you are going to use that period to really give the public something to think about ahead of the 2025 local and regional council elections?
Yeah, definitely. If I was vocal and fighting for the Namibian people for the past 20 years outside the chamber.
Yeah.
So if I am inside the chamber, my duty is to deliver what I have promised the Namibian people according to NDP programs and also NDP manifesto, to make sure that I implement those issues to make sure that the Namibian people, they have to enjoy their democratic right to benefit from the resources of this country, because Namibian people, the masses of this country, they need food, they need housing, they need a lot of things which they need. They need water, electricity, and also they want to see Namibia to be developed. So Namibia should develop because Namibia, it is a rich country. So we have to make sure that the resources of this country should be managed very well. Yes, so we see consultation with all of us as members of parliament and also members of cabinet. So we must not, let me say, impose things which affect Namibian people.
Yeah.
So we must go to the things which benefit Namibian people.
Yeah.
So on that period, the Namibian people, they will see that since they are aware of it, because through my determination and my sacrifice, because the issues, most of the issues which are affecting our people, Namibian people, I have been fought for it for many, many years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. The last question, and I have made a habit of asking you this question, not because I derive joy from that question, but I think it's a realistic and inevitable question. Hypothetically, because there are still, like I said, when you're in parliament, there's a lot of people who will be approaching you to say, look, can you table a motion on this thing? Can you ask a particular minister about this set of questions about their plight? And we still have a situation in Zambezi. People who are saying there must be a referendum for the people of the region to decide whether they want to be part of Namibia or not. Some want Caprivi, as they call it, to be an independent state on its own. If people hypothetically approach you and say, Mr. Lukato, Lukato, go and agitate for this cause in Parliament, what are you going to say to them? Okay,
thank you very much. I think there is a procedures of any issues brought by the community on the ground issues which I can receive. I think me myself, because I have experience of as a national servant of people, served the Namibian people as a police officer. Also, I served in the United Nations, the peacekeeping missions. I believe that any issue in Namibia can be tabled, and any issue in Africa or in the world can be discussed, because the issues which which makes taboo, I don't know. It's only issues that if we are talking about the Bible, you cannot amend the Bible, because it's a creator, the Redeemer, who have created that Bible.
Yeah.
And the laws of the Redeemer cannot be amended.
Yeah. But
So
anything else can be
that's
can
definitely
be discussed.
yes, peaceful.
Yeah.
Yes, it's peaceful. Yeah, definitely. That's what I believe myself.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, thank you, Tate Lukato. Congratulations on your first ever seat in Parliament, and we will be watching you closely to see whether the man who talks big on this platform will be talking big in Parliament also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the platform.
Absolutely.
And I very much appreciate it, because without the media,
Yeah.
the media played a very big role.
In putting out your messages.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. But
Absolutely.
thank Namibian. Let me also thank the Namibian people.
Yeah.
Those who have casted their important votes for me.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
May God bless Namibia, Africa, and the world at large.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's Lukato Martin Lukato. He's NDP president, parliament bound, and sharing his thoughts on what is likely to be happening in the next 5 years when he joins that National Assembly. Thank you for watching.